I wanna be with you. You're young and beautiful. I trust in two directions. I had no hope. We never follow instinct. We just don't understand a different situation. We've lost your land. My heart's in limbo. Your heart's in limbo. You always share affection with everybody else. I think that you should learn to love yourself. The man that you love most, the man that brought you here, he's always in your memory. He's always near. My heart's in limbo. Your heart's in limbo. My heart's in limbo. Your heart's in limbo. My heart's in limbo. Your heart's in limbo.
Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm your host, Willie Bragg. I hope everybody's doing well this evening. I apologize for not showing up last night. Just got a lot of shit I had to take care of. You know, gotta. You hear me say it all the time. Yeah. So anyway, yes, Warren, I am going to get right to the meat and potatoes of it all in a second. I hope you're doing well. Sorry about your internet going down this week and over there in Chicago. I used to have problems with the Spectrum here, but they gotten a little bit better. So anyway, we have CBC voter here. Great seeing you again. Happy Thursday. Willie Bragg Show and Uncle Warren. Happy Thursday right back at you, CBC Rotor. And we have here Max Sarjay, Hugo, the Warren, and the Peace Project gone rogue. Absolutely. And so anyway, I'm glad y'all showed up here. I appreciate everybody, supporting the Willie Bragg Show, and damn it, we're gonna get it up to 1,000 before too long. So just be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient. So anyway, I really, in a lot of ways, don't want to keep talking about Charlie Kirk, but the right wing are so unhinged with their cancel culture, and their propensity for authoritarianism that I have to go and in fact comment on it. But before we do, we'll and if I sound sleepy, because I just woke up a little while ago, so just wanted to go make that clear. We'll go start off with levity that rings true, shall I say. This is from the Amazing Atheist, of course. So here we go.
In the past, I have made criticisms of glorious leader Trump. I erroneously called him a fascist and falsely stated that he was a threat to our civil liberties. I see now how foolish I was to ever question his glory and his splendor. Never has there been a smarter and more capable leader. He is by far the greatest president of my or any other lifetime. I see now that when I foolishly criticized him in the past, my feeble mind was brainwashed and radicalized by discord leftists and the Communist Democratic Party. I was also on the payroll of George Soros and Ilhan Omar, who is in fact the leader of the terrorist Antifa organization. I recant all of my previous criticisms of my own free will and of my own volition, having at long last seen the error of my ways. I wholeheartedly apologize for any harm that I may have caused to this great administration and our beloved leader, President Donald Trump. I am hereby voluntarily giving all of my ill-gotten gains to TP USA so that I can begin to make amends for the damage that I have caused. And to any who might have been led astray by my false and defamatory criticisms of our great and glorious leader, I strongly urge you to comply with the administration and exorcise the demon of leftism from your tainted souls, accepting Jesus Christ and Donald J. Trump into your hearts.
That's not that far off removed from the truth from what's going on. And they're demanding loyalty. And they're demanding no opposition. And, and there seems to be a genuine push toward fascism. And I'm one that don't like to use that. I don't use it lightly, these terms. I mean, there was a time 25, 30 years ago, I would hear some shit libby types who are more conservative than I would be use the term pushing toward fascism. And I'm thinking, kind of over the top, and and all that. But it looks like that's kind of where we're headed. And so, with the death of Charlie Kirk last week, and once I'm so tired. I'm so tired saying, I'm sorry he's dead. I mean, again, I don't take delight in somebody getting, involuntarily removed from existence, shall I say. I don't take any delight in that, but I disagree with his politics. And saying that, you might as well say you pop champagne corks to the right wing. They're demanding that you cry. They're demanding that you go and they're demanding that you go in the privacy of your own bedroom and jack off the fantasies of Charlie Kirk. That's what it's coming down to, and it's ridiculous. As I said, I hate the guy now more dead than he was when he was alive. Ken Perlman called him a net negative. I am inclined to agree he was a net negative. There's nothing good about people who says that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. There's nothing good about a person who wants to bust unions and make it so that we have weaker unions than we already have in this country. There's nothing good about a person who opposes universal health care. There's nothing good about a person who praises the raids by ICE, praising the president for attacks on Iran. Somebody who's basically cheerleads genocide in Gaza. Those are not traits of a good person, and nobody's going to tell me or demand for me to feel empathy for somebody that I thought was pretty damn despicable, if I ever gave time to think about it. And honestly, I'm thinking about Charlie Kirk more now than he was when he was alive, because, I mean, that's all people were talking about. So much so that the authoritarianism is just getting is cartoonishly ridiculous. This is from the Hill, this article here about Pam Bimbo. And let me tell you, I'm not trying to be sexist or whatever. She doesn't get there her own merits or what have you. She got there because, that's eye candy for Donald Trump. Pam Bimbo. So, name of this article is Bondi is in hot water over hate speech comments. And so, we'll start with Attorney General Pam Bondi is under scrutiny over her comments about cracking down on certain rhetoric in the wake of killing Charlie Kirk, marking the latest controversy of her own making. Bondi and other Justice Department officials have had cleaned up the Attorney General's comments from earlier this week when she said the agency would target those using hate speech, something that is genuinely protected by the First Amendment. The Attorney General has previously taken heat from some of them on the right for her comments about the case of the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, where critics argue Bondi's overpromise and underdeliver on releasing documents. Of course. While some on the right had called the President Trump to move on from Bondi, there are no indicators that he plans to do so. Administration officials pointed to the Attorney General's loyalty to her work on key parts of Trump's agenda. Pam Bondi has done an unbelievable job, and everyone agrees with that, says Trump on Tuesday. She is unbelievable. Bondi raised eyebrows when she said on Monday that the administration would go after you if you're targeting anyone with hate speech. The Attorney General separately threatened to prosecute Office Depot over employees' refusal to print posters for a vigil honoring Kirk. Now, this is what I don't get. So, a cake decorator can sit there and look at a same-sex couple and say, go fuck yourselves. Well, they might not say that, but they'll tell them they will refuse to go and bake a cake for a same-sex couple. But you better go and make print posters honoring Charlie Kirk. You see where that, you see where that the inconsistency is right there. Sort of like a decade back, and 10 and 20 years. 10 years ago, conservatives were complaining that the liberals and LGBTQ community were boycotting Chick-fil-A because the CEO made a silly remark about being opposed to same-sex marriage. And he can go fuck himself for saying that. But, and so while I kind of think that those are his words, whatever, have you, the liberals and the progressives and the LGBTQ community had every constitutional right to go and boycott Chick-fil-A. But these same conservatives, a decade prior, were boycotting the hell out of the Dixie Chicks because they said mean things about George W. Bush and the Iraq War. I hate selective outrage and selective double standards. Robert Redford died, was it yesterday or day before yesterday? Where is the right wing? We demand empathy about Robert Redford's death. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds? I mean, that sounds ridiculous, And let's say if your favorite progressive podcaster or your favorite progressive politician kicked the bucket. Wouldn't it be ridiculous if any of us on the left sit there and let's say your favorite podcaster, Willie Bragg. Y'all can laugh. Willie Bragg. He goes and he kicks the bucket. He pushes the daisies. He's meeting his maker. He's an ex-Willie Bragg. I'm kind of paraphrasing John Cleese from the Parrot sketch on Monty Python. Y'all didn't catch on. But what happened right there? If somebody, basically decided to remove me from existence and, against my will, would I right now alive want people who hate my guts? And there are people that hate my guts, by the way. Would I want them to go and demand for them to have tears over my leaving planet Earth? I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd rather live and just be done with it. But anyway, let's get back to the article at hand. I am so sorry. Okay. So Bondi raised eyebrows when she said Monday that the administration would go after you if you're targeting anyone with hate speech. The Attorney General separately threatened to prosecute Office Depot with an employee refusal to print posters for a vigil honoring Kirk. Can you believe that? So Bondi's comments about hate speech drew pushback from prominent conservatives, including Megyn Kelly, Eric Erickson, Matt Walsh, and Representative Tom Massey of Kentucky, who noted that hate speech is generally protected under the First Amendment. Now, I don't know. I don't particularly. Well, Thomas Massey might be the most honorable out of the group that I just mentioned, and obviously Matt Walsh is a piece of shit. But when you're right, you're right, and good for all of them for saying that you just can't sit there and punish people for speech that offends you. The First Amendment is there. It's so basic Political Science 101, Civics 101. Surely they can't sit there and start prosecuting people. They're saying mean things about Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to say it like it is. And if that's the case, Pam Bondi, if you're listening to me, I want you to listen to me, Pam Bondi. I dare you to go and handcuff me and have me arrested for saying that Charlie Kirk was a piece of shit, because Charlie Kirk was a piece of shit. I hated Charlie Kirk. I hate him now more than he did when his worthless ass was alive. He was a net negative. He was a racist. He was a bigot. He was a homophobe. He was a psychotic corporatist, a neocon, a white supremacist, a double middle finger to the legacy of Charlie Kirk, and to you too, Pam Bimbo. Go ahead and arrest me, bitch. Karen, go ahead and arrest me. Try to find me and arrest me. I'm telling you right now, go ahead and arrest me. You know, I'm letting you know. I'm guilty of hate speech against Charlie Kirk. Arrest me. I mean, you know, because you do. I will have the ACLU on y'all. So anyway, my point is, because the First Amendment is what counts. The First Amendment. It's designed to protect all speech. Now, we can all agree. I had peanut butter sandwich last night for supper with a soup, so this is why I'm picking this up. You see this here? I'm not advertising peanut butter, Jeff, but basically what I'm saying is we can have all kinds of opinions on Jeff peanut butter because there's nothing controversial about it. So if you really hate Jeff and you're like, throw that shit away, or you think, oh, this is the best shit around, you know, I can't have enough of it. Either way, your opinion is protected by the First Amendment. And there's nothing controversial one way or the other. But, you know, speech that you do not like has to be protected. And it's across the ideological spectrum. I can't stand the shit that comes out of the mouths of people like, you know, Mark Levin. Now, Mark Levin would shut me up if he could. He'll shut up the entire left if he could. Same with Jesse Kelly, another one I can't stand. But I would never do that to them. Well, it's not because I don't have the power to, because I obviously don't. But my principles guide me to be against that sort of thing, because that would end up biting. That would just end up harming the left overall. You know, it backfires on the left, and the right better realize this too, because you know, if I can find the video, it just occurred to me to share this. You're right here. Kim Iverson touched on this issue herself. Sorry about that. Yeah, Kim Iverson actually touched on this subject, and she said it best. So I will go ahead. Whoa, I hit the wrong thing here. All right. Okay, give me a moment here. This is from Kim Iverson, and you know, I don't always agree with Kim Iverson. There's some issues I disagree with her on occasionally, but you know, when she's correct on something, damn it, she is correct on something. So I don't agree with her all the time, but I mean, I respect her. I like her. I like listening to her. So here's what she has to say about this whole situation with Charlie Kirk.
Well, it's probably no surprise that Charlie Kirk's assassination is going to be used to justify censoring Americans. But I want to share with you the video that Trump actually reposted, and this video has now gone viral. It's quite alarming.
You name it the Charlie Kirk Act, you make it a law, and you make it damn near impossible for these people to continue to lie to the American public, which has brought chaos, hatred, division, and anarchy all across this country. Because of their constant lies, a man lost his life over it. Because of the constant hateful rhetoric of calling him a fascist and a Nazi and a white supremacist and a bigot, the same thing that they called you.
Trump retweeted this. He reposted this, which is what's made this go viral. If you didn't tell me she was a conservative, I wouldn't have known. They're instead establishing their own ministry of truth. They're going to rename it Charlie Kirk Act, but they're really just going to silence dissent, silence voices they don't like. And I didn't like it when the left did it, and I don't like it when the right's doing it. And the short-sightedness of the right is that they will create all of these mechanisms to censor and silence and ban. When the left gets back in power, they will use every single one of these weapons that the right has created. They will use these weapons on the right, and they will say, thank you for that. Thank you for the tool. We're going to use it. But now we're going to use it against you because we think you're the fascist. We think you're the Nazi. We think that you're the dangerous one. And so we have to stop you. And we're just going to get more and more extreme. And it's extremely alarming that Donald Trump decided to retweet this video calling for the censorship of mainstream media and independent media. The counter to mainstream media is independent media. The counter to any opinion you don't like is more opinions and more conversation, not censorship. People have completely lost their minds. Censorship is on the rise. We have to definitely be weary of this and combat that.
Yeah, 100% agreement with Kim Iverson there in that regard. You can't do this, and they're setting their own little ministry of truth. And I'm the consistent one because when Biden was president, they tried to do that ministry of truth bullshit. I was opposed to it. I'm opposed to what Trump is doing now. I'm even more glad that the Ministry of Truth, the Disinformation Governance Board was dismantled because, good Lord, you think that Trump would have gotten rid of that? Hell no, hell no, hell no. We see the authoritarianism of Trump right now, and the authoritarianism is showing. And so, just as it is with a lot of political issues that comes along and everything, people sit there and scoff at it, but as usual, I'm correct. So turn out to be correct. So in a nutshell, I think it's bullshit. And if it goes in, if he actually starts trying to prosecute, Pam Bondi starts trying to prosecute people for expressing their free speech rights, I just do see how this could go to the courts. And the court's saying, oh, yeah, just carry on, folks. Nothing to see here. I don't see that happening. I just don't even see even some reactionary judges going with this. I just don't. This is such a gross, obvious violation of the First Amendment. I just don't see how this could actually, transpire itself into law with no repercussions. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to have tens of thousands of people all of a sudden getting arrested, if not more. So, I oppose the doxing and I oppose cancel culture, all that bullshit when it's being done by liberals and centrist Democrats. I'm just opposed to it when it's done by Trump and MAGA. I think censorship is fucking retarded no matter who's pushing for the censorship. So anyway, I am going to grab me something to eat very shortly. I have to make a phone call too in a few minutes. But so I'll go ahead and say to everyone here this evening that thank you for showing up tonight, and that you might see me a little more this weekend, obviously for obvious reasons. So I will be signing off right now. I'll just conclude with my final words here. That if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment any way if you disagree with what I have to say. We'll have a conversation. As the First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Also, remember to reject corporate media, to subscribe to the Willie Bragg Show on all of my platforms. Help me get up to 1,000, especially here on YouTube. Hopefully, YouTube will not take down this video because, I got a little loud earlier. A little bit impassioned. As I said, reject corporate media. Remember, everybody, to free and pardon Ed Snowden, free Palestine, free healthcare for all. Fight to protect that First Amendment, to keep our freedom of speech actually free. And until next time, fuck Pam Bondi, and fuck Charlie Kirk. I did not stutter, figuratively speaking. I actually did kind of stutter, but not stuttering like I was nervous. Just the way my speech pattern kind of goes at times. So, in other words, I'm doubling down. That's probably the best way to put it. So, yeah, fuck Pam Bondi and fuck Charlie Kirk. Good night, folks. I will talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.